Hi guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about things to expect before starting your internal medicine rotations and things that you can do during the rotation to stand out. I'll also talk about resources you can use during the rotation, and I'm just gonna cover general tips to use during your internal medicine rotation. So first, I'm going to talk about things that you can expect to know before you start your rotation. First, know how to present your cases. Okay, that's super important. A lot of times, the only time you get with an attending is when you're presenting your case during morning report. And so you want to be very logical, you want to be chronological when you're presenting your case. If you guys want a video about case presentation or patient presentation, I'm going to do a video about that. But know how to present your patients, know how to do your case presentation. Um, in internal medicine, you will be expected to do case presentations depending on what hospital you're in. And so that would usually be a case that you saw, a patient that you saw, and you're interested in. You will present to your preceptor. Usually it's going to be sub note style, but he's also going to ask you a lot of questions about the case, like why did you do this, why did you do this imaging, why did you do a CT, why did you use this medication. So that's something you should keep in mind when you're seeing your patients. If there's that one case you're interested in, make sure to go back and ask the patient all those questions that you feel like your attending will ask you, because there are things in the that you're not going to find in the patient's chart, but when you talk to the patient one-on-one, you can get that information and use during your case presentation. All right, now things that you can do during the rotation itself to stand out is you can ask your residents, offer to call the pharmacy and double check patients' medication. That's very helpful. Residents are usually very busy, and so if you offer to do that, that's something that you take off their plate, and it's really helpful as a part of the team. Other things that you can do is offer to check labs. When you go in the morning, you can go in and check the labs for the patients. Let's say you have a specific patient that was assigned to you, go in, check their labs, check if they went in for any imaging, check if it came back, and you can tell that to your resident, and that's going to be very helpful. You can also offer to write a progress note. Some residents will make you do a progress note for a couple of patients. Some will have one patient and have you talk to the patient and do a progress note. If your resident doesn't do that and you see that you have a lot of patients on your list, you can offer, can I write a progress note for this person? When you write that progress note, you share it with them. They're going to double check it and give you feedback. And so that's a way to be helpful, and it's helpful for you as well because you get feedback. Other things that you should know while going into your internal medicine rotation: know your different scores. Okay, when I'm talking scores, I'm talking about, for example, know your Wells criteria for your DVT PEs. Know that, because they're gonna ask you, a patient is going to come in, they're gonna have symptoms of a PE or DVT, and they will ask you what criteria would you use for this patient, and you should know it's the Wells score. Not just knowing it's the Wells score, know what goes in the Wells score. Okay, other criteria, you should know your TIMI score, you should know your I wrote a bunch down to highlight, your light criteria. Know those. So know all of those very important scores and criteria for different diseases. Other things that you should know: know your best next steps. Okay, because a patient is going to come in, or you and your resident will go see a patient, and they'll ask you, what is the best next step for this patient? What do you want to do for this patient? What do you think we should do for this patient? So know that, review that before you start. Other things about internal medicine, I'll talk about resources that I use. If you've watched my other videos, you know I'm a very good fan of case files. My internal medicine case file, I have it with me. I travel with it. I I go everywhere with it. I take it to the hospital every day, and it's super helpful. And like I said in my other video, when we see a case, I usually note them down at the end of the day or during my day. If I have some downtime, I'll go to my case file, read on that case, and that's going to solidify the information for me. So now I know, oh, they did this because of this. So I'm able to correlate things that were done better. Um, Other things that you resources wise, UWorld is, of course, it's golden. So make sure to do a certain number of UWorld questions a day depending on you. What I did was I divided my UWorld by days. Internal medicine for us is 3 months, so about 90 days. I divided my UWorld into like I divided into 70 days, or I think 75 days, just so I can give leeway for the days that, things happen and I'm not able to do questions. But I make sure to do questions every day. Try to do them, because at the end of the day, you need to write a shelf exam for this rotation and you need to do well on it. You also know that internal medicine is a majority of the step 2 CK exam. So when I'm doing my internal medicine rotation, I'm keeping that in mind. I know I really have to know these things. That way when I start prepping for a step 2 CK, it's easier because I already have this information down. All right. Other resources that they've recommended, one of my attending recommended Harrison. I haven't gotten it yet, but he said it's really good. I might invest in it. I'm not sure yet, but that's something that was recommended. Other things, Step Up to Medicine. I do have it. I don't have it here right now with me, but I have Step Up to Medicine. That's very good as well. Other resources for people that want to go all in, there's a Mix App. It's usually, I've seen it used more by attendings, and they pull questions from there to ask us, or we go over questions with them. It's $1,000. So do what you want to do with that information, but it is $1,000. Some people say it's really good for step 2 preparation as well, and it gives you a lot of things for that $1,000. So I'm just throwing that out there. I personally haven't used it. I've only done questions from there with my attendant. Other resources, let's see. I talked about Harrison. Up to Date as well. I spoke about Up to Date in my previous video, but Up to Date is something that people are using for internal medicine, and they're saying good things about it as well. All right. That's it about this video. I'm going to do a day in the life of a medical student in internal medicine, and I'll tell you exactly what we do during the course of the day, like whether it's rounding or it's seeing patients or it's chart review. I'm going to do another video on that. If you have questions, make sure to put them in the comment section and I'll answer them. If there's other videos you want me to do, comment below and I'll do them as well. All right, I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you click the like, share, and subscribe button below. Thank you.